Yo, what is up, my fellow version boy? And when they say so, it's currently taking motherfucking loss today. We about to react to Law by Mike. Actually, as this last guy we watched last time, he was catching Roblox, predators and shit like that. But today we're about to react to crimes YouTubers were saved from. I'm actually interested because who the fuck was in the crime and how the fuck did they get saved? You feel what I'm saying? So let's just get right into the point and see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Some of your favorite YouTubers should have gone to jail, but the law saved them. From a YouTuber that broke into a house to another that got over 60 people arrested. I'm breaking down how they escaped the legal consequences of their craziest moments, starting with Mr. Beast.
These 5 tanks are literally about to rain missiles upon this $500,000.
So owning a tank that can actually fire like this is typically considered possession of a destructive device. In the United States, that can be a serious crime that carries a sentence of up to 10 years in federal prison.
And any money that doesn't get destroyed, I'm giving to Blake.
And if that currency they're about to destroy is real, that's another issue. As under Title 18, Section 333 of the U.S. Code, it's illegal to mutilate, deface, or destroy American money. So right now, things don't look good for Jimmy.
After this, we'll see if you have any money left.
Ooh, those tanks are actually firing real missiles.
So why isn't Mr. Beast in prison?
Good question. I pulled the paperwork, and tanks like these actually arrived demilitarized, with key parts of the cannon like the breech ring cut so they can't fire. Mr. Beast worked with DriveTanks.com, and they applied for approval from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms to legally restore the cannon. Once approved, the gun is registered as what's called a destructive device, and they even manufacture their own shells under federal oversight. So everything you're seeing here is fully regulated and done by the book. And the money he is using is likely prop money. This was the time Logan Paul got sued for opening the door of an aircraft. So let's see what happened. Okay, she's
Why the fuck would a nigga open up a door to an aircraft? This is why niggas don't like Logan fucking Paul. Who does that, gang?
Wow, the cabin isn't pressurizing? That's not good.
You guys gotta open that.
What the?
Oh!
The door just exploded. The whole door just blew clean off the plane.
Look at the door! It fucking exploded!
I found the lawsuit documents from the jet company, and they claim that Logan opened the door. But if you watch the clip again, you'll notice a flight attendant actually asked Logan to open the door, which is good for him because that means he can argue that his actions were reasonable.
The lead passenger on the flight was Logan Paul. Prior to the commencement of the flight, Mr. Paul forcibly opened the door to the...
Oh man, forcibly opened the door.
He was instructed by the flight crew not to touch or manipulate the main entrance door of the aircraft once it was closed and locked by the flight attendant.
That's a lie.
And she's right, because we have the footage.
You guys gotta open that.
Oh, sh**.
Look at this. She says you gotta open that, and even explains how to do it.
Open which way?
You gotta, like, pull it and...
When?
So Logan wasn't acting wrongfully here. He was doing exactly what the crew told him to do. And think about it. His family was stuck inside the jet. The flight attendant gave the order. He followed it. That makes his actions reasonable. To sue, they would have to prove that he was acting unreasonably, which is why once Logan released this footage, the charter company had no case. They dropped the claim. Now this next story comes straight from a police report. Since there's no footage, we're going to recreate the crime scene with animations so you can see exactly what happened. A YouTuber named Jesse Sebastiani.
If y'all know this nigga, y'all know, man. This nigga used to be crazy. He probably still is.
Once woke up in a home that looked different than usual. The problem? He wasn't in his own home. While drunk, he walked into the wrong house, turned on the faucet, then passed out and flooded the place. The scary part is, what Jesse did is actually criminal. In some places, trespassing is usually treated as a general intent crime. That means you don't have to intend to commit the crime. Just the act itself is enough, and being drunk isn't a defense. So even though he was blackout drunk, the law could still treat him as guilty. The only thing that might help? A genuine mistake of fact. If someone truly believes they're in their own home, that can weigh heavily in a prosecutor's decision. And that's where Jesse got lucky. Once the truth came out, the homeowner agreed not to sue as long as Jesse paid for the damage, which was a staggering $41,000. More importantly, the prosecutors didn't file charges because Jesse's mistake made it hard to prove he had mens rea, which is the guilty mind the law requires. Now, the next one is different because it's a clip from a streamer, not a YouTuber.
Tonight, charges filed against a...
That is a lot of people.
Jesus Christ.
A massive riot in Manhattan.
I see fights breaking out.
Leading to 65 arrests and multiple injuries.
Looks like there's thousands of people packed into the park. There's a fight breaking out. Right there, property's getting destroyed. So let's see how many crimes we can actually spot. To keep track, I'm using the Note Pro from today's partner, Quad. That's vandalism. Over there, assault. Public disorder.
Damn.
Resisting arrest, and criminal mischief. That's at least 5 crimes in less than 30 seconds. But
Nah,
here's
facts.
the thing, none of this was caused by the streamer himself. According to the police report, Kai tried to host a fan event where he promoted free PlayStations and gift cards. Like a personal secretary, Plod NotePro will now record everything I say and turn it into transcripts with highlights, which is perfect for sorting through this Kai Cenat madness. Plod NotePro isn't just a note taker. While it records, I can snap photos in-app that are highlighted as
it's probably the only thing I've seen that's sponsored and that's actually pretty lit.
labeled evidence, so I can focus on analyzing the riots. Yeah, there he is. He's just announcing on his live stream that he's going to do this event, and then it just turned into total chaos.
Police charge influencer Kai Cenat with inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
Wow, so under New York law, inciting a riot means urging 10 or more people to engage in violent behavior. That's a Class A misdemeanor with up to 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine.
I am beyond, bro, disappointed. Beyond disappointed in anybody who became destructive that day, bro. 100%, bro. That is not cool.
What's interesting, though, is I didn't hear Kai use any words like fight or riot. Let's have Plod look through the transcript. Yeah, it looks like the NotePro didn't pick up any of those words, so that means Kai didn't urge any violence. I even found this clip of Kai telling people to calm down.
Bro, we're not gonna do nothing until it's safe.
Plod NotePro captures everything: audio, text, images, and highlights. Instead of rewatching hours of chaotic clips, I jumped straight to the moments I flagged with keywords, so finding Kai's actual words only took seconds. In the end, prosecutors cut a deal with him through deferred prosecution. That meant the charges would be dismissed if he issued a public apology, acknowledged the damage, and paid $55,000 in restitution for cleanup costs. I worked the case hands-free and let the notes write themselves. You can too. The Plod NotePro hears up to 16 feet and auto-builds transcripts and summaries.
This nigga, these niggas gotta pay all his cheese.
Buried in meetings. This is a must-have. Use my code Mike10 now for 10% off select Plod products. Next up is a YouTuber who could have faced serious consequences for a crime, but somehow walked away without punishment.
Can you sneak into an NBA game by impersonating a player? Let's find out.
Wait, he did that for real?
He does not look like the player right now. So he's trying to
be him.
He's trying to put on a disguise.
Common pregame outfits, and most importantly, change.
Oh, he's putting contacts.
Astro Demure is powered by Shopify, both online and in person. Shopify and
Wow, he's
this nigga really impersonating people,
well,
yo.
Just trying to dress up like a
this
player
is crazy.
is not illegal, so that's not the problem right now. Oh, but now there's a problem. What Eric did crosses the line into criminal trespass. For a first-time offense, the law allows for fines, probation, even up to 6 months in jail. Stadiums don't play around with security. Their entire reputation and the safety of players is on the line. If anyone is caught slipping past checkpoints, it's treated as a serious breach, which means the venue had every reason and every legal right to press charges. And in cases like this, it often starts the same way: a phone call to the police. Officers arrive, the trespasser is detained, and within hours you're fingerprinted, booked, and facing a criminal record that follows you for life. Notice at the bottom of the video, Eric includes the line, "My lawyer told me I have to say I bought a ticket for this game." Yeah, that's not how it works. If you didn't buy a ticket at all, then it would definitely be trespassing, even just being in the stadium at all. But even if you get a ticket, you're still not allowed to go to these restricted areas, and that's still trespassing. But instead of that knock at the door, he got this, a simple notice banning him from the stadium, which means the only thing that actually saved him wasn't luck. It wasn't the ticket, it was the stadium's decision not to escalate. Because if they had picked up the phone, this prank wouldn't be a funny video on YouTube. It would be a booking photo, a mugshot, and a permanent criminal record.
Damn.
But the same can't be said for this next YouTuber, because the lawsuit against him wasn't about getting justice. It was about taking him down. There was a time on YouTube when diss tracks ruled the platform. Everyone was making them. Rice Gum with its Every Night Sis, Logan Paul with The Fall of Jake Paul, even KSI with Little Boy. But out of all of them, one track stood above the rest. The one that had the entire internet talking. PewDiePie's diss tracks on T-Series.
Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be.
Wait. How the fuck you get sued for a diss track game?
Down T-Series, I'm here to spill the real tea.
On the surface, it just sounds like classic YouTube trash talk. Just PewDiePie clowning on his biggest rival. But listen closer.
What is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community.
And in another video, he does this.
Indian Mafia, please don't kill me, that's a joke.
Indian Mafia, please don't kill me, that's a joke, is diabolical work.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the memes, you're the best. I love my Indian bros. From beach in Bangladesh. I'll take on all the world for you. I'm a heavy hitter. About to cause a genocide, so you can call me. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, millions of fans thought this was all
After
a
this video, I'm
joke.
about to get hyped.
But in India, these lines didn't land as satire. They landed as offensive, abusive, even racist.
Yeah, that was
Series
racist.
didn't just
100% that was racist. PewDiePie and FreeBot, he's not racist, but he said nigger. Like, he just, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, nigga.
They're back online. They went to court. They argued the lyrics weren't harmless jokes. They were vulgar, defamatory, and harmful to India's image.
They was.
And they demanded the Delhi High
Yep. Yep. I'm agreeing with this nigga, man. You know why? Because that's out of pocket, bro. We got to, come together instead of dividing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga got chill.
Court blocked the videos immediately. Now imagine this from PewDiePie's side. These weren't just any uploads. Together, the diss tracks had over 300 million views.
Damn.
They were at the heart of his battle for YouTube's #1 spot. And suddenly, they were under threat of being deleted. Not just in India, but potentially worldwide, if YouTube chose to follow the court's ruling. And the risk wasn't just losing views. Under India's penal code, speech that stirs hostility between groups, whether race, religion, or nationality, can trigger criminal penalties.
Damn.
Which meant if the case went the wrong way, PewDiePie wasn't just facing takedown. He could have been facing fines, court orders, even a criminal record in India. In the end, the court sided with T-Series. Both diss tracks were banned in India. But here's the twist. In America, they stayed up. Because under the First Amendment, parody, satire, and even offensive speech are strongly protected, especially when aimed at corporations. Which means PewDiePie wasn't saved by luck, or even by YouTube. He was saved because American law protected his right to roast the biggest music company in India. And that's the only reason his diss tracks are still online today. This next creator found themselves in a legal battle over statements they made live streaming.
Come on.
This isn't enough.
Come on. Pokimane, like, she too fire to be going to jail, nigga.
Normal stream. This is what's called a hate raid, and it got one of the biggest YouTubers permanently banned on Twitch.
Oh,
a
shit.
famous live streaming platform.
Gideon
told his viewers to check out Pokimane, but instead of following, they swarmed her chat, spamming her with insults until Twitch permanently banned him. But Gideon isn't the focus of this story, because Gideon then turned to Ninja, one of the biggest names in streaming, for help.
Help me, Step Ninja. Help me, Step Ninja. Guys, there's literally, I promise you guys, there's literally nothing I can do. I can send a text message to my representative from Gideon says he's sorry.
And this is where things got messy. When Pokimane told her viewers that Ninja said this, he fired back, denying he ever texted anyone and accusing her of lying. Then his wife sent Pokimane a direct message threatening a lawsuit. Suddenly, this wasn't just about Gideon's ban. It was streamer versus streamer, with the threat of defamation hanging over Pokimane's head. And the stakes? Huge. A defamation lawsuit could have cost Pokimane millions in damages and crushed her reputation if Ninja pursued it. So did Pokimane actually defame Ninja, or was she just repeating his own words?
I can send a text message to my representative. All right. I sent the text.
Well, in the US, for something to be defamation, it has to be a false statement. As shown in this clip,
he then says, "The most I can do is text my Twitch representative about this." And then he proceeds to do just that.
Pokimane didn't twist Ninja's words. She didn't speculate. She quoted exactly what he said on stream in front of thousands of viewers. Even if he never actually sent the text, her statement was grounded in his own words and was therefore based in truth. Because of this, Ninja and his wife were forced to drop the case. And as for Gideon, he and Pokimane made up. And since then, he hasn't been involved in any streamer controversies. But while Pokimane and Gideon's drama ended peacefully, not every YouTuber's beef wraps up so neatly. In fact, the next case pushed YouTube into uncharted territory and changed the rules for every creator on the platform.
Have you guys ever heard of Bold Guy, aka Matt Haas?
Catch me, and I'll let you do whatever you want to me.
Oh my god.
Matt Haas claimed Ethan and Hilla stole his content by using over 70% of his video, and in his words, contributing nothing substantive. He demanded they take it down. When they refused, he sued.
Yes, we are being sued for copyright.
I forgot all about these
and
niggas,
here's
man.
Why that was terrifying. If H3H3 lost, the court wouldn't just shut down their video. It would create precedent, which is basically a new rule that would crush commentary, reviews, even reaction videos across YouTube.
Damn.
The internet knew how big this was, and that's why fans donated over $130,000 to H3H3's legal defense fund, called FUPA, short for the Fair Use Protection Account. The whole case came down to one question. Was this fair use or was it copyright infringement? Matt argued that H3H3 just reposted his clip without adding anything new, so he said it wasn't transformative. But H3H3 pushed back, saying their video clearly added commentary, criticism, and humor. Then Matt countered, claiming jokes don't excuse stealing footage. So H3H3 doubled down by pointing out that fair use exists to protect exactly this type of content: commentary, parody, and criticism. For months, the YouTube community waited, wondering if the judge would side with H3H3 or set a precedent that could crush fair use altogether. In the end, H3H3 landed the knockout. The court ruled their video was quintessential comment and criticism, which meant their commentary was protected. And with that, they didn't just save themselves. They set a precedent that helped protect every creator who relies on fair use. Next up is a YouTuber who was at the wrong place at the wrong
Jake
time
Paul.
and faced federal charges for it.
And vandalism at an
There's definitely crimes going on in the background there. Man, this mall looks completely destroyed and Jake Paul's just in the middle of all of it.
including people smashing the windows of a display.
It doesn't look like he's participating in anything or even encouraging it. He's just documenting it. And that alone could be enough to land you in real legal trouble. I've got the paperwork right here. Scottsdale police charged him with criminal trespass and unlawful assembly. They're both misdemeanors, but they still carry the potential for jail time. And once those charges were filed, things didn't calm down. They escalated, because then federal prosecutors stepped in. The FBI raided Jake's mansion, seized multiple guns, and started digging for anything that could connect him to looting or vandalism. Overnight, this wasn't just a bad look. It was a federal investigation. But here's where the law matters. For these crimes, it's not enough to prove someone was nearby or caught on video in the middle of it all. Prosecutors have to show beyond a reasonable doubt that they were actively participating in the crime. And after months of digging, they couldn't. The FBI found no compelling evidence tying Jake to actually looting or vandalizing that night, which is why the federal probe was dropped. The local charges were never refiled, and Jake Paul, despite being caught in the middle of it all, walked away untouched. Not because of who he is, but because the law requires proof of action for these crimes, not just presence. But while Jake almost faced jail time, this next YouTuber was crossing paths with one of the most dangerous men in the world. Ray William Johnson wasn't just another YouTuber. He was one of YouTube's first megastars. But he recently found himself staring at an email that could ruin everything. Ray had just been threatened with an international lawsuit. The message demanded that he delete his videos, issue a public apology, and stay silent, or face legal action overseas. And this wasn't just any lawyer. The demand came from a firm in the Philippines representing a man who called himself the Son of God, Apollo Kibuloy.
Wow.
Kibuloy built a fortune from his followers by pretending to be the Son of God, flaunting private jets, fancy houses, and even political influence. But behind the image were serious criminal allegations that were not only being investigated by governments around the world, but led to Kibuloy being put in prison. Instead of keeping quiet, Ray did what he did best. He made a video. He laid it all out. The lavish lifestyle, the criminal history, the indictments. At first, it looked like just another takedown. But then came the letter. This time, a formal notice accusing him of defamation. Suddenly, this wasn't just a YouTube drama. It was a legal battle that could destroy his career.
So last year, I told the story of this cult leader from the Philippines, Apollo. And I guess he sees it, because while he's sitting in jail, he sends his lawyers after me.
But Ray didn't back down. He doubled down. He left the video up, refused to apologize, and went as far as to call Kibuloy a con artist in a second video.
You're not even a free man. You, in fact, are a con artist, a cult leader who apparently can't even get laid without coercing kids into it.
It was bold and legally very dangerous. Here's the thing. If Kibuloy had been just a normal citizen, Ray could have been in serious trouble. But Kibuloy wasn't. He was a public figure, and that changes everything. In the US, public figures can't just sue for defamation. They have to prove something called actual malice. That means showing Ray knew his statements were false and published them anyway to cause harm. That's an almost impossible standard to meet. And since Ray's video pulled everything from official sources like government reports, FBI releases, and federal indictments, no US court would ever treat Kibuloy's case as credible. What started as a terrifying threat ended up collapsing under the weight of the law. But as crazy as Ray's situation was, it's nothing compared to the next scandal, which became one of the biggest controversies YouTube has ever seen.
Guys, you already know what Honey is, probably.
Honey?
Honey is a free browser extension that lets you save.
Damn, I used Honey before. Fuck, I got hacked.
It's Honey.
Honey. You've probably seen this, right? Honey, the extension that was supposed to save you money. It was backed by YouTubers like Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, and dozens more. Millions of people downloaded it because our favorite creators told us to. But according to one investigation, that trust may have been completely misplaced. Okay, look at this. You add something to your cart. Normally, the creator who linked you here gets a small commission. But then, Honey swoops in, changes the tracking link, and suddenly Honey gets the credit. That's not just shady, that's hijacking. Megalag accused Honey of running what's called cookie stuffing, secretly inserting its own code into transactions, taking credit for sales it didn't generate, and blocking legitimate coupon codes so it could push the ones that made it money. If that's true, it's not just stealing from creators. It's misleading millions of customers at the exact same time. And remember, it wasn't just small channels pushing this. Some of the biggest names in the world, Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, Shane Dawson, countless gaming channels, all ran Honey ads. Not because they knew what was happening, but because they trusted the product. The backlash was instant. Then came the lawsuits. First, a federal class action led by
Damn, I was just thinking to myself, what happened to Shane Dawson? God damn, I just peeped.
A YouTuber, Legal Eagle.
Somebody comment that. If it's some fucked up shit, just leave it to yourself, bro.
And backed by other creators. Days later, Gamers Nexus filed another, accusing Honey of violating state consumer protection laws. And here's why this is massive. Under US law, a company can't secretly manipulate checkout systems, hijack commissions, and mislead users for profit. That'd be unfair business practices. If proven, the penalties can stretch into the tens of millions. Which means this isn't just a story about angry YouTubers. It's about millions of everyday people, maybe even you, who downloaded Honey thinking it would save money, when in reality, it may have been taking more than it ever gave back. So if PewDiePie's battle showed how the law can protect creators, this story shows the flip side, how the law has to protect creators and consumers from companies that cross the line. Honey was supposed to make life easier. Instead, it might go down as one of the biggest online scams ever exposed. To watch.
So, this video was actually fucking fire. It's actually the most fire video I've ever watched in a fucking long time. Law by Mike is a fucking legend, no bullshit. He checking everybody and catching everybody. But I hope everybody enjoyed this shit. Like, subscribe, go home, don't goon.